South Jersey bad boys. South Jersey bad boys. South Jersey bad boys. Okay, now I say this every time. That legit sounded good.
It's getting better and better. The singing lessons I got for you for Christmas.
We're like the goddamn Jersey Boys. We should rename this podcast the Jersey Boys with that harmony.
We're not Italian or gay enough, though. I don't know.
Might be gay enough.
Yeah. Definitely not Italian enough.
I mean, tomato. Really.
Callahan and Donegan.
Callahan and Donegan. Yeah. We'll get some.
You guys do sound like a shitty law firm.
Yeah, or like a shitty Callahan Auto. Shitty
Callahan
tires.
Auto Parts.
Well, that's
Donegan
from Tommy Boy.
Tires.
Yeah.
We would be like David Spade and Chris Farley going into places just selling cheap brake pads that'll fucking fall off your
Who would
Toyota.
be who? Who's Farley?
I mean, I'm definitely not Farley. I'm not a, like... I mean, I would have to be the closest one because you would be a more serious David Spade kind of guy.
That's true. But if you're on mushrooms, you could be more of like the Farley
Yeah.
wild energy character.
If I did a couple of shroomies before going in...
Yeah, I could see you lighting somebody's shit on fire on the table.
Yeah, quick. One of you go through this table real quick. That's
Yeah.
how we determine who's Farley.
Yeah. Just stand up and I'm going to fall face first right into it.
Who do you think is more likely to fall through a table at some point just through circumstances?
Oh,
Out of-
Dan.
out of us-
100% Dan.
both of us,
Oh,
or-
out of the three of us or the two of you?
Out of us two, specifically.
Dan.
Me.
Yeah. I think I've seen a different table here before.
Yeah, there was
He
one
may have
here.
already fallen through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I had to bring it to run a nursing home bingo game, and I fell through that at bingo.
Yeah.
Once someone called 064, I was fucking through it. Yeah, it was. I'm becoming a bit of a problem in the nursing home community, so that's
Yeah.
why we're podcasting.
Gotta
instead.
stop hanging out there.
Yeah. But it's probably going to be about roughly 1 month since we released an episode. Took a
Really?
little holiday
Ooh.
break.
Holiday break.
We had too much shit going on. I fled to the Poconos for a week off the grid.
My son had a double ear infection.
Double ear
/
infection.
RSV. That was fun.
Everybody in your house was sick as well?
Yeah. Everybody. We all just traded sicknesses for the last 2 weeks. It's great.
I was literally texting John for like fresh new dad advice. I'm like, John, dude, this is fucking horrible. What do I do here? John's like, wet your socks, put them on at night. I'm like, that can't be right, dude.
What the fuck would that accomplish?
know.
Did you try it? Did you try it?
No, but I did look it up and it looks legit.
It-
Like it looks
yeah.
like it's a legit
Doesn't that give
method.
you a cold?
I think it was...
John claims it cures a cold, but you wet. It's the wet.
So the
sock
idea
theory.
is from my Google research and from aunts that told me to do this.
Montague wet sock theory.
Yeah, the old Monty wet socks. You take your socks, you wet them, you dampen them. You don't want to go soaked. You don't want to
Right.
be a fool.
Yeah.
The real pro puts a wet one on and then a dry one over, so your sheets don't get
that's
damp.
what they say.
Kind of like
That's what the internet
condoms.
says. Yes, you want to double bag it.
Yeah,
but
double bag it, one dry,
much like
one
a
wet.
condom, sometimes it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And your cold gets worse, and by that you have a kid.
That's a risk you got to be willing to take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Sometimes
supposed
it gets
to-
you a little sicker.
Well, the theory is, and this is how it's totally just like South Jersey, like Aunt Diane voodoo
Folklore.
That it's supposed to pull all the like overheating body temperature to your feet to warm them up, rather than the rest of your body.
So you're trying to trick your body, basically?
It's
think
funny
so.
to think
You're
you
pulling
could trick
some-
your body by being like, I'm going to ice my feet so that my fucking legs think that that's where the blood needs to go.
Here's what we're going to do.
Dumbass feet.
We're going to fake this body, which is so fucking stupid, and we're going to make it think there's a cold down there when there's a cold up here.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That, it does work.
I like to soak my nuts, and then
Yeah.
it pulls all the blood to my dick.
Yeah. I heard that theory with like putting an ice pack on your neck. It like cools your body temperature, which helps you like burn more calories.
Really?
I don't
We're
know
getting
if
to
it's
caloric
true.
burning now?
Yeah, I mean, new year, new me. You know, I'm starting to do some research.
I'm duct taping ice packs in my back and running around the backyard.
Running around with wet socks on. I don't know. John told me to do it.
Yeah.
I also love that you reached out to me. That might have been the only actual answer I had for any problem. Like you would have been like,
Yeah, you're
he's got an
pumped.
eye infection. I'm like, listen, it's crazy, but wet his socks, dude.
That's John's solution for everything.
Yeah, my son's gone missing. Here's a problem. You
Yeah.
got to wet your socks. You're gonna find them.
Yeah.
Do you
How
ha-
wet are his socks right now?
Do you have any other dad advice that you would like anybody else?
No, it's nobody knows what they're fucking doing, and you
That was
forget it.
That was pretty much your advice. You're like, dude, wet his socks. Otherwise, having a sick kid fucking sucks,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
I was
it.
like,
You just
yeah.
learn to accept that it's like kid's sick, your plans are canceled, which is kind of great. Like I love it now in a weird way. Like we didn't do anything for New Year's,
Yeah.
because like our kid was sick, and
New Year's is the best to stay in and not do anything.
it's so
though.
fun.
New Year's fucking
my wife
stinks.
fell asleep. She was out cold at like 11:15.
Yeah. Put some
So-
wet socks on her.
Yeah, just on her hands. Made it
Yeah.
real weird.
Yeah.
Real muscle confusion kind of situation.
Yep.
But no, yeah, we just laid around. It's the best.
That's
We
what
went
we
down the
did.
street. The one thing they did nice was our neighbor throws like at 6 o'clock they do a countdown for all the younger kids.
Yeah.
So like we went down with all the parents, and that was like, have you had to size up like other parents in the neighborhood yet?
Yeah, starting to.
It's interesting, right?
Yeah,
Are you?
starting to.
Where do you think you are on the dad supremacy charts of your block?
And does that supremacy chart go by age? Is it the
And
older, the
race.
wiser? Yeah, and the race.
A lot of times it does, and I would say I'm pretty low on the totem pole right
Yeah?
now. Yeah, I just think that I don't make a great first impression in terms of commanding respect.
Okay.
I feel like I don't look like a dad. People are surprised when I tell them I have a kid. And yeah, I don't know. I think I need a little bit more experience under my belt to command any sort of respect.
Yeah.
You got to know how to start a conversation in the circle of dads. Like they're all
Yeah.
talking about like political stuff or like I don't know what's a common dad.
grills
It's
or
weird too though.
backyards.
It's not. I
Lumber.
wish it was more of that kind of dad stuff, and it might be because like the town I live in is like a super liberal town.
Mm-hmm.
Like I come off as like the alpha dude, and I'm not that in the slightest. But like compared to like guys on my block, I'm like the jock of our block,
Yeah,
if you want to
pussy
say.
ass Collinswood.
Yeah.
Do they go to you and say, "Where's the local CrossFit gym? How do you hide your wife's bruises?" Is
Dude,
it
they're
like
just
that
all
type of-
scared of me. They just see me run down the street in my short shorts, and they're like, I don't want any of those pencil legs. I don't know what they're capable of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're afraid of the bulk,
Yeah.
the bulk season.
It's
dude.
more of a sulk season lately. I don't know.
They saw you shave down 50 pounds, and they're like, God, that guy.
What's your secret? And you're like, not drink a case of beer a night.
Yeah, it turns out not drinking at the tap room every Wednesday night
that
was the answer.
sliver of a man is going to fuck us up.
Also, just be sick all the time. It's the most incredible diet plan there is.
You do
Yeah.
lose some weight doing that. That's right.
Yeah. That's
There's
true.
nothing better than like when you're sick and you have that brief moment of you're like, oh my God, I think I have abs because
Yeah.
you're just dehydrated and
Yeah.
like depleted.
Yeah.
I had food poisoning a couple weeks ago on top of being sick.
Good for
And
you.
I walked past the mirror and I was like, oh, look at you. But then as soon as you look at your bird, you're like, nope, all right, I'm back to feeling like a piece of shit because
Yeah.
nothing's worse than a tiny sick bird.
You ever get that sexy, sick throat sound
I'm-
and voice? And
I'm
you're
on
like,
the-
oh, God, am I a singer now?
I'm on the end of that right now. I hit a note the other day and my wife popped her head out in the living room. She was like, that was actually pretty good. I was
Yeah.
like, it's actually the end of strep. I'm doing all right.
Yeah. You want to see my ab?
Yeah.
You can only perform when you're sick, unlike canceling when you are sick. It's
Yeah.
vice versa for you. So you're just out there getting sick.
Just
to
spreading the
perform.
bug and
Yeah.
comedy.
That's the only good part about being sick for a little bit like that. You get that 2-day sexy voice or something.
They always say, wasn't it Frank Sinatra used to like throw up before recording all the time because he said it made his voice like real like raspy-ish.
Yeah, it was something like Nancy Reagan told him like to blow dudes and like eat an apple.
She
and
said
then
you got to
throw
suck
it
off
up.
half of DC and then go record Fly Me to the Moon.
It was Eleanor Roosevelt, I think, told him.
It was Nancy Reagan, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I was
Betsy Ross told him.
Betsy, I think it was Eleanor Roosevelt told him like eating an apple and then throwing it up or something
Yeah.
gives your voice like a raspy texture to it.
Right.
Huh.
And Sinatra
Did it?
probably did it. I don't know.
Was it?
I
was
mean,
it,
you tell me. Listen to a Frank tune and not, get into it.
Yeah, that
Was
dude
it-
was yakking.
Was it Barbara Bush that was really promoting ass play a lot in the early 90s?
Really?
I think it was George Bush. I think there's a lot of rumors of
The
like.
first or the second?
It was
think-
definitely an HW thing.
I think it was HW.
Yeah.
There's that club.
Skull and Bones.
Yes.
The CIA.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's, I mean, someone's a tomato
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I always hear the Bushes thrown out when they're discussing that theory that they were in there getting down and dirty.
I'm on a new theory with Skull and Bones. Did you ever see the movie Skull and Bones?
No.
It's got a bunch of like late '90s, early 2000s like heartthrobs in it. I can't remember specifically,
Katie
but I want to say a
Holmes or-
Hartnett may be in it.
Okay.
It's all dudes.
Hartnett's
that
making
are-
a comeback.
There's tons of hunks in it, but it's dog shit. And I
Yeah.
think the Skull and Bones purposely put out a dog shit movie to keep people off of the scent. Like people went and saw it and they're like, I'm not going to look into this gay club anymore.
Right.
But it turns out they're running the world.
Yeah, you know what other club must be running the world? Fast and the Furious.
Yeah. Schindler's List was what did it for me. That was a pretty big one.
Speaking of lists, did you hear that they're about to?
Speaking of lists, we're going to get to our 2023 top 10.
Speaking of horrible lists, they're about to release the Epstein
Yes.
list.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who do you want to see on there, and who do you know is definitely on there?
I want to see both of you on there.
Dan's for sure on there.
I was a flight attendant for a week. Yeah.
That's an
Dan was a
incredible credit.
stewardess.
If
Yeah.
you're in stand-up, you're like, you've seen him on True TV, also on the Epstein list.
Yeah.
Give it up for Brendan Donegan.
Yeah.
The things I
Dan
do
was
to-
giving out massages. They're like, please, sir, we do not want one from you.
Any of you guys booking bar shows down here?
For sure, Bill Clinton's on there.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and
without a
isn't
doubt.
it that like they said that there's a code name? It's like John Doe 36 or something.
Yeah, that he's been on that
His
many
name.
times.
He's been on
Yeah.
there like 68 times.
Yeah. Wow.
Go one more, Bill.
Right.
69. I mean, make it cool.
How could you
Yeah.
stop at 68?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're saying Trump is on there. There's a lot of different actors on there. I think
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, really?
Isn't
Why-
it a
I knew-
different Chris Tucker though?
There was the.
I would love for it to be the wrong Chris Tucker, actually.
I know, God, he's one of my favorites, dude. But I think that there's probably going to be a handful of people that flew. I mean, this also sounds like I'm defending,
No, go ahead. Yeah.
trafficking. But like, I'm sure that there was a handful of celebrities or people that went there, maybe flew there once,
Yeah.
not understanding, I guess, what they were getting themselves into.
Right. Well, that was
maybe didn't do
essentially
anything.
the whole setup. Was like nobody knew
It
the
was.
first time they went, so
Right.
it should be like all the onesies and twosies. Maybe they get a
Yeah,
pass.
who are the frequent flyers?
Yeah, I think if you have a punch card, you're definitely going to trial.
Yeah,
Yeah.
old Bill was flying his own goddamn plane over there.
I got 7 of these things. What do I do?
I'll take a jet ski.
Yeah, who were the frequent flyers you think?
Clinton, a
Bill,
lot of
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates is on there. Yeah,
He's probably a frequent flyer, dude. I bet you that's what shut down his marriage. I bet you he knows there's some stuff coming out, and his wife is like, I'm getting out of here.
And his a guy that did his taxes got suicided a year ago.
Whoa.
They said was suicide, but he was also like very heavily involved with stuff. And yeah, I think there's going to be some fishy shit there going
It's
down.
supposed to come out this week, right?
They said tonight. Let me see
Yeah.
if there's any update right
What
now.
sucks too, though, is like they tease all this stuff. Like
Yeah,
they
and then it
teased the
won't come out or
JFK
something.
shit like 2 years ago. They got everyone all
UFO
horny
stuff.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the UFO stuff. They were just like, "Yep, they're there," and then you're like, "Ah, now I don't like it anymore."
And they'll give you obvious stuff where they're like, we do have some stuff, and you're like, okay, but what is it? And they're like, we can't tell you that. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, well, this fucking sucked.
yeah,
Ooh, here's some people. This I don't know if this is real or not, but
There's been a lot of fake lists, so we might have to fact check this because I was looking for it myself, and on Twitter it's like all these spicy celebrities, and then right under it's like this is a complete fake list.
oh yeah.
You're like,
Well, I mean
but hey, like,
everything.
just for shits and gigs.
I'll read some of these names and if yeah.
true or false. We'll call it.
Adam Lang, don't know that. Akon, that would be a nice name.
Ooh,
on there.
and Young Jeezy or just Akon?
Just Akon at this point, yeah.
Yeah, better been old Jeezy.
Yeah,
Al Gore, Alan Dershowitz, Albert Pinto,
that's a lot of Al's. I know one Al in my entire life.
Anderson Cooper.
The fact that there was this many people that they have to go in alphabetical order. Like
Yeah. Anderson Cooper, Angelina Jolie, Barack Obama, Anthony Weiner, Ben Affleck, Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders.
Sanders, what the fuck?
He
You
wouldn't
think he
fly in a
sat there
private
like
jet,
this
yeah.
with mittens on, like
would.
that one meme?
Yeah.
He flew coach on a Delta flight.
Yo, those are full of people.
How old are these chicks over here?
Bob Saget, Bill Clinton, Beyonce.
Well, Bob Saget escaped that because that is the rumor that Bob Saget's like head trauma is too questionable to have been like he tripped in his hotel room, right?
Really?
Because that's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole story was
I knew
like he
that there
tripped and
was.
fell in his hotel room.
He hit his head on his headboard. On the
Yeah,
bed or
and like
something.
that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Whoa.
there's definitely more to that shit.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was debunked or if like there was.
Is Nikki Glazer on there? Is she gonna write a song about this? Like she wrote a song about Bob Saget?
a song about being on the Epstein client list. Yeah.
What do you mean, Nikki Glazer or Taylor Swift?
No, Nikki Glazer
Nikki
wrote a
Glazer.
song about Bob Saget when he died.
Would so, oh, you never heard it?
Really?
Oh,
No.
dude, there's a Legion of Skanks episode where all they do is just mock it for an hour straight. And they
Really?
keep saying, they're like, and remember, we're all good friends with Nikki,
Yeah.
but she has to know this is fucking dog shit.
Is it a good song?
It's terrible.
No, it's
And here's what's terrible.
You can't, dude. Vulnerability of singing is too much to put out there.
Well, what sucks
in a
is
serious manner.
In a serious
absolutely.
manner,
the guy that helped her write it and like taught her how to play music is a musician that I love. It's this guy Matt Pond. He has a group called Matt Pond PA.
Okay.
And it's just great indie rock. And when she came out, she was like, I really want to thank my producer and friend, Matt Pond. And I was like, oh, maybe this song's going to be incredible. As soon as I played it, I was like, Matt Pond is somewhere just being like, God damn it, thanks for that money. Like, this is just...
Nikki, why not just do a roast? Do the roast of Bob Saget. Saying what you're good at. Stay in your lane.
Yeah.
So there's David Spade. There's too many. Like, this is only alphabetical, but David Spade, Drew Barrymore, Ellen DeGeneres. That's a nut.
See, I'm starting to think this is a fake list.
Eminem. Yeah, Eminem's not going to a fucking with a finance.
I would love to see Eminem and Ellen sitting next to each other on the plane. They're like, we're going for different reasons.
Yeah.
Gwen Stefani.
Or the same reasons.
True.
To get some pussy.
Oh, this one is that James.
Oh, true. Yeah, same thing. My bad.
James Franco. 100%. James Franco went there.
James
You think
Gunn,
so?
though, but I'm like, was James Gunn even popular? Like,
See, yeah, James Franco is one of those
Carrey.
ones where he probably had so much sex that he's like over it, that he's like, I got to try something new, like sex on the top of a pyramid.
That's really what it is. But I think what you were saying really holds up. And probably they say Jay-Z too. Like, this is probably a fake list.
Jay's?
But what they do is that they bring a lot of rich and powerful, famous people there and basically blackmail them.
and they video him.
And and it's like, oh, now we have you on tape with a 12-year-old. And then it's
Which
It's
is
like we
a
do that at
great
High
plan.
Note. We film everyone and try to get you to say the N-word. And then we're like, we're going to hold this over you if you ever make it.
Yeah.
Right. Because those are the guys that are for sure going to make it.
Oh,
The
yeah,
dude's
yeah.
blasting out the
Guys
N-word.
keep coming to High Note and saying it. It's really fun when you do it.
Yeah.
Who's done it most recently?
I think it's the same culprit. I don't even want to give him like any credit.
And this is the open mic slander portion of the program. Feel free to just
True.
let it all out, John.
I don't know. No, it's nobody funny enough that deserves to have their name said on the internet. That's how I look
The
at
blackmail move is a good move, though. Like,
it. Yeah.
it sounds like that whole Epstein thing of like, flying people out there, videoing the entire operation, and then using it to blackmail the most rich and powerful. It sounds like a movie script. It's hard. I mean, I totally believe that's what happened, but it seems so fantastical that like.
Did they ever talk about like within the facilities? What were the like? Was there any like good tennis courts, basketball courts? Like they had to have been. It couldn't
sure.
have been diddling the entire time.
No,
there
I'm
had
sure
to have
it
been some
was-
sick pickup games.
Dennis
there had to have been a
Rodman
little bit
there
of golf.
teaching layups or something.
Yeah, was there any golf courses
It
there?
was probably a sweet, all-inclusive situation with just the
All-inclusive.
understanding of like, hey, we got a little bit of extra for you.
Did they demolish it? Because it was basically a square building on a small. I mean, the island was like maybe an acre.
There was
Like, it's-
Is it up for sale? I think someone.
I think it was. I know there was a dude that like rode like a tiny boat there and got a bunch of footage that went
Yeah.
viral. That guy's probably dead.
yeah.
Where was
definitely.
the island? Like
It was down near the, not even, no pun intended, I think it was near the Virgin Islands, to be honest. I am not even kidding. I think it was in
Wow.
between the British and U.S. Virgin Islands.
Man.
It's almost like those islands were founded for a reason.
Yeah.
Probably centuries ago. I think this all goes back to the Queen. That's how I look at
You
it.
got
Well,
the U.S.
Prince
Virgin
Andrew, I'm
Islands.
sure, was there.
Oh, yeah, he was another one definitely on there. It's those high-level political people, but then you don't know because it's people that hate the other side of the aisle, and they're
Right.
like, yeah, those guys
That's
were there.
true.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the video of Prince Andrew when they're questioning him about going to the island? They're like, did you ever go to the island or whatever? He's like, no. And they're like, we have a picture of you with the underage girl. Like, what do you say to that? He's like, I don't recall.
What his other thing too is he claims he doesn't sweat. They were like,
Oh, yeah.
She claimed like blah blah blah. It was like you were sweaty. Blah, blah, blah. He's like, I actually can't sweat. That's funny you say that.
Yeah, he's like, that's where you're wrong, actually.
Yeah.
No way it could have been me because I don't sweat.
The Royals bred it out of me. Actually,
It's so funny, his response, though. He's like, yes, I can confirm that is a picture of me, but I
but that guy's sweaty.
cannot confirm that I was there. I don't remember. I have no recollection of that.
That might have been spring break Cancun on a Carnival cruise line.
Yeah.
Can't be sure these days.
Yeah, do you think that ever
shuts
happened?
the interview down, like, right in their tracks. They're like, okay.
That's
like,
AI. That's AI.
what
That's
can
AI.
you say back to him just going, I don't know?
Everyone claims it's AI now. It's so easy to fucking do. And it's,
Yeah. But this was years ago when they had that interview. I think it's just my phone.
Do you think that ever happened? Like cruise ships will like they'll dock and you go like you. Do you think there was ever a Nickelodeon cruise that was going through like the Virgin Islands, and they're just like, we're running out of fuel. We got to stop at the next island we find.
Yeah, they're like,
and
what
it
is
pulled up
going
and a
on
bunch
here?
of guys on the island were just like, yeah.
They're all out there in bathrobes.
The dude, what was the guy's name that that
Dan
got in
Snyder.
trouble? Dan Snyder was on the island already, and he was
Yeah.
like, what a coincidence.
Yeah.
He's giving feet massages to everybody. Yeah. That was a whole weird conspiracy, too, and I don't think anything ever came of it.
Man, but that's one
Oh,
that
yeah.
when you really look back at it, like they show how much they made kids do stuff with their feet in Nickelodeon shows when we were
Yeah.
younger.
Ew.
I think it was weird because
The Amanda Bynes show. It was like a whole.
Yeah, it was like a running theme where like they put their toes and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like one of her sketches. It was like it was like just her toes like being dressed up and shit.
This is the sketch where I put hot dogs between my toes.
Yeah,
You're like,
it was basically something
all right.
like that.
I did watch She's the Man, which is on Netflix now. Hot pro tip for you.
Amanda Bynes has put out some bangers.
what? And have you seen her recently?
She's
What a fall from grace.
She is fixing herself up though. She's getting the tattoo removed from her face.
That's
really?
definitely
Yeah.
that's gonna solve everything.
Yeah.
She's good to go.
She's not going to be a mental nutcase anymore.
Yeah, I think she permanently shaved her eyebrows off. I don't think they exist anymore.
Holy shit! Well, she
It's a bad investment.
that She's the Man movie, which had Channing Tatum in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could be rock hard throughout that entire movie.
True.
It doesn't matter. But would you rather? You guys remember that flick? But would you rather fuck Amanda Bynes in that movie or the guy she's dressing up as? She's kind of hot as both.
Wait, hey, are you
asking me whether I'd rather fuck a guy or a girl?
It would have been better if you presented present day Amanda Bynes or her dressed up as that
No,
guy.
I was like, would you rather fuck hot Amanda Bynes or hear me out? Hot Amanda Bynes dressed up like a dude.
With taped on sideburns on the side of her face.
Yeah,
It's just Amanda
that's
Bynes
what she
with
was
a,
missing.
with a backwards hat on.
Yeah.
Oh, you're really giving it to me, dude.
That was the missing piece of the puzzle. They was like, if you could just dress up like a guy, I could get into it.
But she was
Yeah,
wearing
you're-
she was wearing shin guards. That's the kicker.
She has to leave the shin guards on.
Yeah, she has to leave the shin guards on. and-
Solid movie.
Yeah, I don't remember it being like I thought it was worse than what I remembered as a
It was
13-year-old.
a terrible remake of a way better movie of Ladybugs. Ladybugs did it better. They did the reverse of it.
I've never even seen Ladybugs.
Ladybugs was where a boy pretended to be a girl, and it was Rodney Dangerfield was his dad and the coach.
Oh fuck.
Oh, yeah, it probably is a little bit before, like in that gap between my age and your guys' age group.
Yeah.
So, but it's the same premise.
Yeah.
It's like the team sucks, and it's not Jonathan Taylor Thomas, but it's like one of those like '90s Tiger Beat heartthrobs plays the kid. So it was a good flick.
Well, you got that one. You got Joanna Man. That's another man dressing as a woman.
They just came out with another Joanna Man,
They
didn't
did?
they? They came out with like an all trans Joanna Man, I think.
Holy shit. That's
And
just
I-
called
but
the
I-
WNBA.
I think it's a Fox Nation or something like. It's one of those like.
Oh, the Daily Wire. did.
Daily Wire
Ben
put it
Shapiro's
out.
thing.
I did
Lady
hear
Ballers. is
Lady
what they
Ballers,
called it.
yes.
Oh, is that a play on Ladybug? Is that what you said?
I think so.
Ladybugs?
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
Holy shit. Well, you have that one, and then what was the
Airbud.
Yeah,
The
Airbud.
bestiality version of it all.
Yeah. You have that, and then what was the one? Bend It Like Beckham. Remember that? The Indian girl
I
playing
never
soccer?
watched- Watch that one.
Wasn't that just an Indian girl being good at soccer?
Yeah, but that's up there with controversy in the trans movement. Indians playing soccer.
She wasn't dressing up like
True.
a dude or anything.
She should have been
just
on the
happened to be
cricket
Indian.
field. All right, this is going off. We got to get Lakshmi's input here. Anybody got his phone number?
We should get locks on the.
If you just say his
the
name a
pod.
couple more times, I think he appears.
Yeah, he'll just appear over
Yeah.
to that fucking one.
Damn, if you guys just want to fully lean into being racist and have Lakshmi dress up as a genie and come on here.
Oh, the South Jersey
And
genie.
we could just like snap him.
Oh, the South Genie.
the South
South
genie.
Genie.
South
Yeah.
Jersey genie.
Holy shit! If we could call him in or just dress like a.
Yeah, dude, you get 3 wishes. What do you want?
Yeah.
What do you want, and can I get it at Heritage's?
Oh, good old Heritages, dude. I prefer them over the Wawas these days.
I think every time I've come on here, we've discussed how much Heritage's is better than Wawa. And they aren't available in Camden County, and it breaks my goddamn heart.
I don't know what we're talking about.
The-
Heritage's Farm convenience store.
You'll see them if you go down to Gloucester County. They're around.
Treat yourself, bud.
Yeah.
Get yourself a Harry egg. Ooh, it's just a microwave egg with a bunch of cheese on a croissant. God damn it,
Ooh,
it's
that
good.
sounds
They look like the
Diarrhea.
old. They look like the old school Wawas. Smaller convenience store, no gas
They
station.
get robbed constantly.
Yeah.
The one near my in-laws' place just can't stop getting robbed. Over in West Deptford. I think it just happened
I know
again.
where that is.
Yeah.
it's the one that's on
There's
that
a
little
couple.
point.
So there's like 5 because it originated there.
Oh, it
I
did,
think
okay.
I talked about this last time I was on here. Heritage Farm backed up to my friend's neighborhood, and it was like his house was the one that we always were allowed to drink at.
Yeah.
So we would go there and get hammered, and if you went out back, it went up to like they still had dairy cows and goats and everything, and there was a goat that would come up to the fence, and not me, but a lot of people I know have pissed on that goat's head because it would just
Yikes.
stand there and take it.
Oh
then
my god! But
Damn,
pissing
dude.
on a poor
I had to
goat.
hold
on
this
a
on
poor
here.
goat's head.
My friends then, to make up for it,
Goats are so
kidnapped the
cute.
goat one night. They brought it over to another house in Penfield. Shout out P-Field boys. And they brought it into the house and just partied with a goat, got it high and drunk for a whole night,
fucking
and then
goat
just
napped it?
brought it back. Yeah, goat napping.
God, man, it got an old Good old fashioned goat napping.
Little goat. That sounds like Central PA with fucking cow tipping. You got goat napping in South Jersey?
West
Damn.
Deptford is like that cusp of it's almost like the farmland. It's just after West Deptford is where you start to get into like where it starts to feel like Alabama almost.
Yeah.
So it's like that last bastion of like, this is suburbia. It's not.
I saw recently too that goat farms are becoming a big place to donate your Christmas tree to. Like when you get rid of it, you throw it there and they eat it.
Oh, they eat it.
Yeah, I didn't know
really?
that. Who in the fuck living thing would want to eat a pine tree?
A
That
goat,
doesn't seem
apparently. I
very
mean, they
digestible.
love getting pissed on. So
Yeah.
turns out they're just like they just love getting beaten up.
Damn, dude. I would have loved to have seen you guys bring that goat to a party and just goat kick someone right in the face.
Oh, it would have been. I walked
Dude,
in
they can
and
be
just saw a
nasty.
goat, and I was like, "Well, that's here." And they're like, "Yeah, he's just partying with us," and that was it.
Did the people freak out, or they had the goat home by
Put it
by
back.
nightfall?
They put it back just shit faced and high, and we're just like,
the
"Go
owners
ahead,
were like,
go
all
back,
right,
bud."
have them back by 10.
But luckily, it's a goat. Like even a high goat probably acts exactly like a fucking goat.
Yeah, but I feel like most goats at a party in West Deptford would rank higher than most of the women there, right?
No, we had some cuties. I married a girl from West Everett, so I have to say no.
Okay.
No. Okay, let's go a little further south. Pittman.
No, Pittman had hunks and
Pensgrove.
cuties. Pensgrove, no. Now we're getting less teeth. That's where the water starts to get weird. You're getting
Yeah.
shallak.
Dude, the water got weird when I did a little comedy road trip with old Gare Bear Sharp and Jim K.
Oh,
Kim K.
how was
And
that?
Holy fuck. It was good. I mean, this place was set up like to the gills, comedy to
Really?
a T. It was perfect.
Oh,
The
wow.
showroom was amazing.
Good show?
Curtain backdrop. The show was all right. The crowd was a little odd.
But this fucking room.
The room was great. All
You're
their
like, the setup was perfect. The only thing missing was just us performing well.
Well, here's what they did and why it did that and why none of it made sense. The room is perfect. They had flat screens across the back where they put your time on there, counted down from 30
Oh,
minutes.
no shit.
We each did 30 minutes. You saw a timer in the
Oh,
back.
why would they do that?
They had that. They had the bright sound system set up, a curtain backdrop, the seating, two tops all the way pushed into the front. They did everything right. They said that they were going to provide a host and two opener guest spots before Jim, me, and Gary each did 30 minutes. We were each doing 30.
Each doing 30.
Yes. So
All right.
the host introduces herself to us before the show. Jim asks her because he's going to go up first, followed by me and then Gary. And he's like, how much time are you doing? She's like, not much time. And that's all she says. She goes on stage a second later. She goes up there and she's like, first words out of her mouth, she's like, I've never done this before.
That's
and
good.
I'm a local radio host. My name is
Jesus
blah,
Christ.
blah, blah.
Where was
Should
this?
have known that by. I mean, that is. You cannot answer that way. Of how much time are you doing? Not much time.
She was speaking comedy
We're
lingo.
gonna see.
Yeah. So
Tell-
she said, I'm a local radio host. This was in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Super nice, charismatic girl. So I'm like, yeah, she's definitely a comedian. Says that. I've never done this before. I'm a local radio host. So my name is so-and-so. And I'm going to bring up your first comedian. Please help me introduce the very short Jim K. And that was it.
Yes.
And then
she got the only joke she had was just making fun of Jim's height.
She
Oh my
introed him by
God.
saying
Hell
he's very
yeah.
short. She brought me up by saying Dan Calhoun. And then
Yeah, she's my new favorite comic. This girl.
Jim should have got up there and just fucking torched her.
he got up there and said, I'm short something and I'm going to kill myself. And that got the biggest laugh. But then, Jim is...
What a good host, setting him up. I feel like this next comedian's a fucking short pussy. Like, yeah, we were kind of set up for a good show here.
But, like,
Also,
Good
you've
job.
never done it before, but you have a fucking burn ready to go. Fuck you.
Yeah. But the worst part, Jim did like 20 something minutes. I did 30 something. Gary did 40 something. It was
Your
a nice
next
build.
comic's black. Give it up for Gary. Really blow the lead.
After the show, there was a slew of local comics sitting in the back. And I was like,
Why didn't they do the
where
guest
the
spots?
fuck was one of them? Like
Yeah.
5-minute guest spots. Like they were all sitting back there.
Anything.
And the one guy's like, yeah, I recorded 2 albums. Like I could have done 10 minutes. I mean, it's Fayetteville. I mean, somebody says they have 2 hours material. Maybe they have 10 minutes. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, if they just fucking sat there and didn't say anything, I have a hard time
I'd
believing
love
that they
to hear
would've done
those
a great
albums.
job.
Yeah.
Oh my god! So I mean, the trip overall was good. The show, didn't go. Gary killed, of course.
Yeah.
Like I did all right. Jim weaseled his way out of there, but you can't have Jim start off the show with Jim's material.
Yeah, that's the coldest possible thing.
As
Well,
good
and
as
also
Jim is, it's
without
not-
a host.
Yeah, without a host and somebody who
Fucking
brings him up by
sucks.
trying to make fun of him. Yeah. But it was cool. They gave us an Airbnb across the street. It had a putting green in the back with a hot tub.
That's pretty cool.
After the show, we took a bunch of edibles, and then we ended up at fucking Waffle House at 3 a.m.
Oh, that's good times.
It was great. So overall, all of that great
good
going
stuff.
down. On our way down there, Gary's going to hate for me saying this. He got pulled over.
Of course he did.
Driving down there, and his license was expired, so it's his registration, all this stuff. We're driving a Mercedes with all tinted out on every side. And the cop pulls us over, didn't give him a ticket for anything. He had him dead to rights on three separate things that weren't correct.
He just wrote a ticket for stereotypes. He was like, this is for fulfilling too many stereotypes.
Yeah.
Here you go.
He was purely pulling us over to try and get the scent of weed or alcohol or something. Didn't get any of it. And
he was
just
probably
like,
so disappointed.
He just got on three actual things.
he had him dead to rights on the registration, the driver's
Damn.
license.
Sorry, I pulled you over because I'm racist, and
That's what it was.
I didn't realize you were black.
He was like biting his lip.
I'm gonna let you go.
He was like, "Fuck." He wanted to say "fuck" so bad, but he didn't.
He saw how white you and Jim were, and then he was like, "Nah, this is a white black guy."
Yeah.
And then Gary hit him. Gary hit him with Gary's voice, probably a "hello, officer," and he's like, "Ah."
He goes, it's one of the good ones.
Yeah.
What? What did he say?
Let me guess, you had a kid out of wedlock, but you're staying with the baby mama too. God damn it.
Immediately, what I thought of was that old Chris Rock sketch that he did when he had his show, and it was "How to Not Get Your Ass Beat by the Police." Did you ever see that?
No,
sketch?
I don't think I have.
This was from like the late '90s. Chris Rock had his own show. It was very much like Chappelle's show before.
I say
Chappelle's
Chappelle
show.
has a sketch about driving. Or no, he has a bit about driving with your white friend. Okay.
So that's what Chris Rock. One of the things in there of how to not get your ass beat by the police, and he's like, always have a white friend, and he like goes through. It's like an instructional video.
It's true.
And it's a white guy. It's just like, "Hello, officer," and that was me in the passenger seat. I was like, "How do you do?"
Dan just got mushrooms falling out of his mouth.
Nothing to see here, officer.
Can I help?
But yeah, that was overall good. And what else did you guys do in December since?
I hit a South Jersey must. If you haven't been there, I don't think you can claim South Jersey. I did my annual holiday trip to Storybook Land. Have you fellas been?
No, I feel like it'd be a problem.
You've
if I
never
was
dabbled?
there.
Oh, now that you have a son, you
got
have a kid, you got to go to Storybook Land. Like next year will be the perfect age.
Okay.
It is a amusement park that they built in like 1950.
In what jurisdiction?
And I want to say Hamilton. It's deep. It's
Sorry,
deep
this
down
is important for Dan.
Yeah, it's
Hamilton.
South Jersey. I mean,
Dan's
it's
like, what's the zip code on that?
What's the
what breed pine tree is it surrounded by? A lot of pines. It's placed right in the middle of the pines, but it's a amusement park that they definitely built in like 1950 and have not updated it since, except for just continuously painting shit every year.
Yeah.
Like there's a roller coaster there. It had to have been the third roller coaster in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
It's fucking incredible though. Like bringing a 3-year-old on all the rides, I'm still very nervous because I'm like, I look around at like the people working there, great people, salt of the earth in Hamilton, but
Yeah, salt of the earth is a nice way to put it.
yeah. The crew that's making sure that my daughter doesn't get tossed off a Tilt-A-Whirl don't look like the fucking engineers of tomorrow.
Yeah,
is all
this
I
guy
can
just
say.
skipped out on
Yeah.
class.
He's like, well, dude, it's going around. I don't know. What do you want me to do? Like, I almost got sick on the frog spin thing. Like, it's a big, like the extreme version of the teacups kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my niece was like really spinning it, and I had just gotten over food poisoning. And I started to feel everything come back up, but I was like trying to hold my daughter down and not throw up on her.
That's
while
a good
riding on
idea
the
after
ride.
food poisoning. Let's hit an amusement park.
Yeah. Well, we had the tickets. We didn't want to waste it.
Right.
I
You
mean,
don't want to lose money on this deal.
but Santa's there. It's the good Santa. Apparently, my mom said when
What's
I was
the
a
good
kid
Santa?
that
What's
that
the
was
good?
the real Santa.
What's the good Santa?
You've
What
never.
is-
I mean, most Santas suck, dude. That's the other thing too. I'm realizing being around the Christmas season with a kid that now knows what Santa is. You fucking see Santa everywhere. Like we went to go get coffee, and off to the side they were doing coffee with Santa. So we're like, oh look, Santa's here. And then we're walking down the street. There's another Santa Claus like out front. We take her to go see Santa. Then she goes to a family party. There's a fucking Santa Claus there. Now I have to explain to her that there's 30,000 Santa Claus, but the real one is the one that brings you the presents.
yeah.
I think we just gotta stop lying to our kids.
I'm trying to remember like what the excuse was when I was a kid when you would see multiple Santas like that of my parents being like, look, here's the deal. He's got a lot of employees.
It's the easiest answer. Is they all report back to the real Santa,
The big guy.
Because like another South Jersey staple. We went to Captain Cat's the other night. Don't know if you've been there.
No, where's that?
No.
Damn, you guys suck. Maybe I
Jeez.
suck.
Yeah, we suck.
Captain Cat's the best seafood place
You
in
haven't been
South
to
Jersey.
Storybook
Oh, I'm not,
Land or
I'm, not a
Captain
seafood, I'm not a
Cat's?
seafood eater.
You're not a
so
seafood guy?
No,
Never mind.
where is
All right.
that?
It's in West Deptford, Westville, one of the two. We saw a dude there that is definitely, if he doesn't know he looks like Santa, the guy's got a fucking like screw loose in his head. He walks in fully looking like Santa, and just sits down, and I had like 4 nieces and nephews and my daughter there eating dinner with us, and all of them immediately are like, holy shit, there he is. He's right over there, and he loves Dungeness crabs. Like,
Damn.
And then we had to explain to them, we're like, Santa just got done doing, Christmas stuff. It was like 4 days after Christmas. They're like,
Taking
now
some time
he's
off.
checking in to make sure you guys are still being good, and he loves eating seafood in a local South Jersey spot.
What if you see Santa in a place that you can't even think of making up?
I
why
gotta be
he's
on.
there?
That's the thing. I gotta like be on lookout all year long now, because I gotta be ready to lie to my kid at a moment's
Yeah.
notice.
You see a fat guy in a white beard, you're like, get the fuck out of here, dickhead.
Yeah. I gotta draw my daughter's attention somewhere else. I'm like, that's a pervert. Look this way.
Yeah. What's your excuse, pal? You better have something ready.
See some homeless guy on the beach in Wildwood next summer. You had to tell her he just got a timeshare there.
Just working the fudgy wudgy cart.
Fudgy wudgy. My buddy used to be a fudgy wudgy guy.
Oh, that was
in,
my dream job.
Seattle.
It still kind of is.
He loved it, dude.
Is it the
He
guys
said-
on the beach selling ice cream?
Fudgy wudgy.
Yeah, he had his yell down, but he would never tell us. And we're like, dude, give us the yell, because you had to,
He wouldn't flex on
he
it still
wouldn't-
to this day.
he still to this day would never reveal his yell.
That's
which I'm like,
egregious.
it's got to be exciting to make up. You're on the beach and you got to feel it, and you got to hit it with
Oh
the
yeah.
fudgy wudgy.
I in my mind, the fudgy wudgy guy I remember when I was little was like a real like say kind of guy.
We had the guys. Well, I mean, same sort of beaches, but like the ones I remember are the long drawn out fudgy wudgy choco taco.
Oh yeah, just list them off. Screwball.
Screwballs. It's kind of like a baseball ump, but just a little bit like elongated.
It's like a baseball ump and an old timey baseball announcer mixed into one.
Yeah.
Like, welcome out to the ballpark today. We got a real humdinger today.
I would have loved to try to hit a good fudgy wudgy.
Oh. We should get a day job one day. All you, me, the redhead that couldn't make it tonight, and you guys.
Fuck
and
that, dude.
You just
We
want
go
to sell
down-
ice cream on the beach?
I want to freelance as a fudgy wudgy. We'll be the wudgy fudgies, and we just do our own. Like we're
Be
going
the fudge
rogue.
packers.
Yeah.
I wanted to. There were so many ideas that I had on the beach that I wanted to get a filming permit to do. So I think we should add that to the list of things.
Oh man, there's no bigger creep than a guy going into a zoning office and going, I need a pass to film on the beach.
Yeah, then Dan Callahan. Trust me, we filmed on the boardwalk, did some man on the street videos before.
Yeah.
And it was definitely like,
Well, I looked into it. We didn't even need. You don't even need a filming permit unless you're making money on it.
do you remember so we had, Matt up with us, who's
Oh,
like the
man.
main character of this thing, and we're filming. The first people that come up and talk to us are these like 16-year-old girls, and all of our faces immediately are like, oh fuck, we got to get out of this. dude."
Abort.
Yeah,
We're like, dude, this is not good. This is not going to go well.
But like kids now are way too comfortable talking to adults. Like these girls came up and beeline to Matt, and they're like, "Are you really on the Jersey Shore? Like, where do you?" And they just start. I was like, "Why are you this comfortable talking to a guy that looks like?"
Yeah,
that?
but to be fair, Matt's character was a pedophile, right?
Basically.
It wasn't stated, but I assumed it.
Yeah,
I made the
he's been
assumption.
real method about the whole thing. So.
yeah. We really typecasted that role, didn't we?
Yeah, if you're that pale and you're going out in the sun for that long, you're doing it to really risk it for something.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is that the cop that stopped us and told us to stop filming, she didn't say, right now we're shutting this shit down. She's like, just wrap it up soon and leave. Like, and I'm pretty sure because we had Joey there with like legit camera equipment, it looked legit. If you just had a cell phone, they wouldn't give a shit.
Right, yeah, because what's to stop you from four people filming something with a
Yeah.
cell phone?
But I stuck to my entire persona. I was like, no, I work at Viacom in Atlantic City, and that's where we're shooting, and we just came up here for the day.
Yeah,
So-
Dan had a whole backstory ready. He
I'm
I
like,
like it.
telling the cop that they didn't ask us any other questions. They were like, enough, just stop fucking talking.
Yeah,
I was
turns
Yeah.
out cops are morons too.
Yeah, the lady was
Especially
like,
beach cops, dude.
lady was like, "Dude, that's great, dude. I'm on a bike. Okay, you think there's only so much I can do.
I don't even
I'm
have
actively
a gun.
on pills right now.
She didn't have a gun. Yeah, and I didn't realize how many people that live there hate the Jersey Shore shit. So a lot of the older
everyone
women,
does.
The older women there wanted to fucking beat the shit out of Matt.
Dude, Matt. Yeah, well, at one point, we're talking about Jersey Shore and about how Snooki got knocked out, and Matt goes, "Yeah, well, I wasn't mad about that." And the girl goes, "What? What did you say?" And he's like, "No,
Turns
I
out
was-
Central
I was,
PA ain't into
wasn't mad, I was
domestic abuse.
furious.
I was furious." Yeah,
I can't believe he spun that around that fast. Stayed in character. I give him props for it. But
That's incredible.
We should go to Wildwood. We'll get on the beach. We'll do Wudgy Fudgies. And,
Wudgy fudgy, man.
Yeah,
I love it. Wow, I think there's no rules in Wildwood.
You what?
There's no rules in Wildwood. It's the outback of the Jersey Shores. No
I would
rules.
love to go back this summer. I haven't been back in a long time.
Wildwood, oh, it's so great.
Is there even going to be a Wildwood? I keep on seeing these articles about the erosion with the waves hitting the fucking dunes.
You can't, right? You just keep building those things up higher. That's all, dude.
That's why they built the Great White so fucking high, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yo, that goes up 20 stories, right?
Dude, speaking of old roller coasters that are ready to break down any minute, you ever get to the top of that thing and you're like, Jesus, you hear it all rickety, like, you're like, oh, Jesus.
There was a dude who got his head kicked off on the nor'easter, I think, right? Yeah.
Oh, was that?
Is it still called the nor'easter?
Oh,
they changed the name of it.
As far as I know.
I know they painted it.
I do remember seeing that, and they made it illegal now.
Now it's called the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
And the last time we were talking about Wildwood was when the mayor instituted a law no drinking on the beach anymore.
Yeah, because that one girl from Philly got like fucked up by the cops
on video. Went viral, but the cops just beating the shit out of that girl, and they're like, "All right,
doing their job.
No more drinking."
Just doing their job.
That's par for the course for a Tuesday in Wildwood.
Yeah.
There's nobody that wants to beat the fuck out of people more than a Wildwood cop.
Oh yeah, and rightfully so, dude. If you walk along the Wildwood boardwalk, you want to punch 90% of the people in the face there too.
That's a good point. I mean, you're dealing with the worst.
And I love it.
I
I love Wildwood. Wildwood's like the perfect mix of every type of person, because there's North Wildwood, which is all just drunk Irish alcoholics. Mm-hmm. Then there's Central Wildwood, which is just the hood apparently, and then the Crest is like kind of well-to-do, upper crust, and they all just merge together on pills and booze on the boardwalk and just bump into each other and play shuffleboard together. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's quite a diversity.
Quite
a diverse lineup. That you see
but menthol and fentanyl on the boardwalk. Hell yeah,
fentanyl.
But I'm not even that familiar with Wildwood. I didn't really go there growing up. It was always Ocean City or Atlantic City. We went to Ocean City until we became teenagers, and then my parents took us to Atlantic City.
You went to Atlantic City?
As teenagers. That's where we hung out with Kevin the Bum, rest his soul. My dad just wanted to people watch on the boardwalk, so he was like, we're going to Atlantic City. We're staying in a casino.
What did you even do? There's literally nothing on that boardwalk. What did your parents take you to do?
Do they have games and stuff?
They do. They do have like arcades and shit. You got the Steel Pier. We stayed in Resorts, which is right across from the Steel Pier. That's where Landmark Bar and Grill is there. Okay. Margaritaville is in Resorts.
Okay. So did they have like a water park or anything?
They didn't have a water park, but like we would go on the Steel Pier. It's all amusements and rides. They had shit on the boardwalk, walk up and down the boardwalk.
Oh, I didn't know that they had rides and stuff.
Yeah. Steel Pier's been there forever. That's like where the Boardwalk Empire shit was basically based off of. But we went.
I stand corrected, my friend. I apologize.
Atlantic City is actually very family friendly.
There's actually a lot to do there if you've ever checked it out.
There is.
Steel Pier?
You dodge the needles and the crackheads. Yeah. It's a pretty okay place.
Well, we didn't dodge the crackheads. That's how we met Kevin the Bum. Me and my buddy were hanging out with him on the boardwalk, and he tried to split a hooker with us. We bought him some Lucy's at a liquor store, and then he got into a fight with a bouncer outside of a cabaret. This was one block off of the Atlantic City boardwalk.
Kudos to him for going 50-50 with two guys. He could easily gone, we all throw in 33% for this two.
33% for the hooker he wanted would have been like $5 each. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
That's Atlantic City's finest, though.
Yeah.
Those broads, I'm pretty sure Hurricane Sandy killed them.
Kevin, go easy on the hooker.
I do have one local story for you guys here, too.
A little locality.
This one's a fun one. A masked man assaulted a woman during a violent robbery at a New Jersey mattress store. So the only thing I bring this up for, this was in Marlton at the Mattress Warehouse.
Wow. Not too far.
Right on Route 70.
Old Cody Wright's stomping grounds.
Yeah, very well.
Yeah, was there any curly red hair sticking out of that mask?
The whole thing that stood out to me, the woman is fine. She just got roughed up a little bit. Who the fuck robs a mattress store?
If there's any business that probably has next to no cash.
You got to knock someone out, rob the place, and then wait for them to wake up to be like, hey, can you help me out with this?
I'd like to think that the guy's like, oh, well, in movies, they always talk about hiding money in mattresses.
Yeah.
That must be what they're filming these things with.
Jackpot.
Pulls out a knife. They're like, sir, we haven't had a customer in 2 weeks. We have no money in that register.
That's so funny.
Can I interest you in a nice satva?
All the people, every single
Tempur-Pedic. Might want to hold on to that one.
What's your fucking sleep number? And it's just holding the guy knife to neck. The thing that in these articles all the time, people said, so uncomfortable. I live down the street. They said, where was it? You're in Marlton. You think you're in a good neighborhood working, and then for some reason, this happens next door. It's scary, and it makes you think.
I love that statement. That statement has been made thousands of times in South Jersey news. They just have copy and paste from other articles.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Yeah, who would have thought that someone would come to the place where all the money is to rob it? Like, who would have thought someone would go to this beautiful neighborhood with nice homes and break into them? Yeah, that's where the fucking money is, dude.
Makes you think, though.
Yeah.
It really makes you think that you could be held up inside of this mattress warehouse at 3 p.m. on Marlton.
That's anytime I go mattress shopping, I bring a gun just for that reason.
Imagine being the employees there. Like, do you honestly think I give a fuck about these mattresses? Take any mattress you want, guy.
You know, it's funny, if they did end up killing one of the employees, they would have been a real Casper. Am I right?
So they didn't even catch the guy. He didn't even leave with anything. The investigation is
ongoing.
ongoing.
He did. It's just one guy with a mattress driving down the road.
Yeah.
Can you help me get this in my apartment, actually? Tie it to the roof of his F-150.
Damn it. It's California King. I thought it was a regular King.
Yeah.
You got to go back for a new box spring.
He's returning the mattress that he stole. Yeah. It said it's scary. It makes you think, of course, nobody will be by themselves anymore. That's for sure. You know, when I go mattress shopping, I'm never going by myself now.
Yeah.
I like to think that mattress stores can't afford to employ more than 2 employees at once. So if you're working there, you're probably by yourself.
Yeah.
And like, you've never had somebody try to rob the store before, so you're probably quite taken aback.
Yeah, it's one of those stores. I don't know how they still, that and like vacuum stores, how do those two things still exist?
Yeah.
They seem like they should have gone away forever
Who needs a
ago.
vacuum? He goes, let me hit up the vacuum store.
The only reason you should be going into a vacuum store is if you're Walter White in Breaking Bad getting a new identity and you live in the basement.
That's what I think about.
Or
There's a
if you're gonna
vacuum
rob
store. Yeah, true. Yeah, give me all your
they'd be
fucking
like, yeah,
broken vacuums.
We haven't sold a vacuum since '88.
Yeah, can I interest you in a mealy? These things last forever.
Yeah.
And it's that stuff is fucking with a mattress in Marlton. I mean, what town in South Jersey hasn't been robbed somewhere? Like, and it's on Route 70. It's a main highway. It stretches the entire state. Like, what are you
It's just
talking
seeing
about?
some dude flying down Route 70 with a mattress on the top of his Prius.
Mask still on.
Yeah, I have no idea who did it.
Yeah.
And speaking of places that should be robbed, Best Buy has begun removing all physical media and displays from their stores. Physical media being like CDs, DVDs, video games. Like,
They were still selling CDs and DVDs.
a lot of people were surprised, but a lot of people were pissed at it. And I kind of am the one that, like, they don't want you to own anything physical anymore. You better get it through streaming service. You better subscribe to
Yeah.
Spotify.
Oh, really?
It is.
So
I think about all the time.
That's annoying. I like the physical. Like, I used to love with the Xbox, putting the disc in the thing.
I still have a drawer full of DVDs, and
do I, yeah.
every like once in a while we're like, there's got to be a DVD player in the house somewhere, or like we could put these. And even like my computer doesn't have a CD-ROM
Neither does mine.
slot anymore. Like,
no.
Because I don't like if you have a DVD like that and you have a DVD player, you own that. But then like if it's all through streaming and then you have something super old and they decide, oh, we're going to take this off. And you're like, you can't get to it. So that's annoying.
And now, like, if you want to watch Titanic, you need Wi-Fi, number one.
True.
You need to be subscribed to the streaming service that it's on, and it changes every other month. Titanic right now isn't on Netflix, but it's on Amazon Prime.
right?
Like,
how
shit like
often are you
that.
watching Titanic?
Every other week. You see Kate Winslet's titty. I mean, come
True.
on. Like, why?
I love that instead of just Googling it, you're like, I'm going to sit for the whole 3 hours.
I don't fast forward to the spot either. Yeah, but yeah, now you need an internet connection to watch it. I mean,
That's true.
Same thing with Spotify. You can't listen to music you own. Like, you bought a CD. They're like, no, you pay us to listen to it on our terms. And I hate that. But
I do.
And they could remove it for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, they could remove it. Amazon Prime is putting ads on shit all over Prime starting later this month. So they're putting ads on things that even you can buy things on Prime. They're now going to put ads inside of shit you bought. So
Really?
if you
Really?
physically paid full $20 to buy a movie,
Yeah,
for,
Prime's where I buy my movies. So that's
so you'll
upsetting.
see ads inside of shit you paid for already. That's
Huh.
fucking crazy.
It's so annoying.
So when I have to watch the Paw Patrol Mighty Pups movie for the 43rd time, there's going to be a fucking Nickelodeon commercial
You're
right in
gonna
the
get
middle.
a prescription drug
I'm not
commercial.
having it.
Yeah.
I'm not having it.
The best part about DVDs though is getting to wake up to that menu music at your
Yeah.
buddy's
Dude, I
sleepover.
fell asleep.
God.
The
Yeah.
Elf DVD got stuck in my DVD player in college, and we had no internet in my house. Like it was the point in time where like you could still not have internet in a house, and it wasn't a weird thing. Like we would just go to school, like to the library to do work and shit.
Yeah.
But I had the Elf DVD was stuck in there, so every night I would go to sleep to the Elf DVD. And the menu was him having a snowball fight, and he would keep popping up, like out
Yeah.
of nowhere. So that would be in like my dreams and stuff. I think I had sex to that menu. Like it's it's ingrained in my head. Dude.
In college, I used to always, me and my roommate, we would always fall asleep to the one episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they do the musical.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just Charlie Day screaming at like the top of his lungs in that voice. Like, and I would always stay up late. And my roommate would be like, dude, please, just before you go to bed, turn off the fucking TV. And I'd always get drunk and forget. He'd wake up to just chaos, dude, because it'd be so loud because you were blacked out drunk.
I always loved Bruce Almighty's DVD menu.
It's a great
music.
movie.
That movie in general. I mean, between him and old Jennifer Aniston, those perky nips. Yeah, it's a great.
That's prime time hot Aniston.
Man, that's in her
she's
contract, right? Her
gorgeous.
nips are in the contract of everything she's ever done, right?
Yeah.
Because she loves them, and guess what? Guess what, Jenny? We love them too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's kind of her calling card.
Yeah, she was dressing like a mom throughout that entire movie, so those mommy milkers were ready to pop. Yeah, she. I could quote that entire movie as a kid, though. Like when they're on the Maid of the Mist, I had no idea who Katharine Hepburn was. But when Jim Carrey says he's here with Katharine Hepburn's mom, I was like, oh, this is fucking hilarious.
Dude.
Who the fuck is that bitch? But this is great.
OG Jim Carrey, like when he was hitting that run, Ace Ventura and all those movies. Like I just watched Ace Ventura the other day, and I was cracking up. His landlord comes up behind him and he's like, "Hey, Ventura," and he goes, "Satan?" And he turns around and goes, "Sorry, I thought you were someone else." Like, dude, he can do stuff that really not many other people.
I just
do.
watched him in that "I Love You, Philip Morris" movie. Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it.
We just watched like on a whim. We were flicking through. We both fell asleep during it, but incredible movie. And he plays like a fully gay dude that you, from the second he's gay, you're like, this is so believable.
Oh, really?
And you're like, Jim
He's
Carrey's
an amazing
just
actor.
Incredible actor, but also has probably been gay at one point.
Yeah, I'm
so
sure
it's
that
like
dude's
he's
pretty
just
fluid.
He's just pulling from his history. But no, great movie from what I remember.
Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. He's so wildly ridiculous the entire movie throughout. He's just like, he's a literal cartoon character, which no one can pull that off in a way that's like
I
funny
still
without seeming like
once
they're
a
trying
year
too hard.
will do when he gets shot with the blow darts and he's running with his arms limp.
Yeah.
First off, when you want to entertain your son, that move crushes every single time. It's like walking into a door and pretending you hit your head is always going to crush. My daughter loves when I do the noodle arm, run through the house, and you got to do like the turn where they like go with you.
Well, so that
crushes. That's 2.
That's whatever.
When Nature Calls.
When Nature Calls.
Which I'm going to say I'm more of a When Nature Calls fan than the original.
They're both great, but Pet Detective, I can't remember which one was first, but the
first one's where he's in Miami with the dolphin.
Okay, so that one, he's that ridiculous character the entire time, and you see literally one flash of him being a normal person as a character, where like Courtney Cox is the other person, and she, the other character in the movie, and she says something to him, and he comes out and he's like, I forget her name, just say it's like Rachel or something. He's like, Rachel, and all of a sudden for 1 second he's a normal person. You're like, wait, what the fuck was that? Because he's like this full cartoon character, and then there's 1 second where he's like a normal guy.
Like, did they almost forget to edit that out?
Yeah, I was like, oh, dude, that's like the only piece of that movie. You see a flash of like normalcy in him, and you're like, whoa, that doesn't fit with the rest of the thing.
We did come up at the good time. Like him and Adam Sandler, like I think they're on my top 5 totem pole of just comedic actors. And we grew up in the prime of all their shit. Like, I love like all the stuff older than me. Like my dad showed me Caddyshack at a young age. So like I loved everybody in that, but it was like nobody really hit like those two did in the 90s and like early 2000s.
Those 90s and the early 2000s. Then you had the Will Ferrell type of movies that were coming out.
Yeah.
Not Another Teen Movie. Like those early 2000s movies that played like Good Charlotte in the background. Like those types of movies.
Yeah, like American Pie.
Yeah, American Pie was another series. Yeah, those ones were.
And then they stopped making them around like 2013. So there was like all these tiers of like comedic actors like Vince Vaughn or Will Ferrell and like these, Jonah Hill and the Superbad crew. And then they just don't make them anymore.
Yeah. And Jim Carrey had an incredible cameo in The Office. Do you remember when they were hiring for a new manager?
Yes.
And he showed up wearing the little cap.
Yeah.
He's like, I was just with my family in the Finger Lakes, and they didn't know I left. I do a job interview. I don't know what I'm going to do if I get the job. And that was it.
And then they cut back like, I love the Finger Lakes.
So fucking out there. But yeah, that was incredible. I'm sure he just probably improv that entire fucking
Yeah,
character.
they definitely. I do like that in that series of interviewing people. They just called in a bunch of favors. They were like, all right,
Will
who
Ferrell.
can we get? Like they got Ricky Gervais to come in and essentially do the character that they based the show around. Like that was pretty cool.
Toward the end, The Office got real bad. In the beginning, it's so fucking
It's so good. Everyone shits on the end. I still liked it a lot. Everyone shits on the Andy being the boss years, but I liked Nard Dog stuff. I don't know.
They just like Andy started out as this extremely funny anger management dude who was kind of like he had his moments, and then he completely changed characters. He turned into like this total pussy, like weirdly falls in love with every single person. Whereas like he was the funny anger management dude that couldn't control himself. Yeah. And then he morphed into this weird thing by the end. And then it was too much of him at the end.
I will say though, The Office might have done the best job wrapping up an entire series in a finale. Because so many shows fuck up and like really botch that. Like Seinfeld, they kind of botched it in their episode. Like a lot of shows suck at wrapping up, and it's hard to wrap something up that long.
Yeah.
But The Office did like a great job of like, they brought Michael Scott back. They brought like, they revealed that Creed was on the run from the cops the entire time.
Yeah.
The greatest reveal in all of comedic history, I think.
Yeah. Like, he's my all-time favorite.
Creed's incredible.
I mean, amazing. A lot of shows do botch it though. I've heard
it's a tough thing to do. They talk about that. They're like, because you put so much into writing this show, and usually
Game of Thrones was pretty
whoever's there at the end isn't that was there in the beginning or when it was good too. You got to think too, like writing wise. So
like when things peak and everything.
Yeah, it's tough to wrap things up.
Succession, they wrapped it up good. I thought they did a good job.
That was a good ending that I didn't see coming type of thing. They leave it on a lot of the places tried to follow what Sopranos did with the blackout of the screen and hanging. Succession did it nicely though, where they have somebody walking behind him and you don't really know, and it just like kind of slowly fades out. It could have been, I think.
I hate the Sopranos. I didn't hate the Sopranos ending. I get like all the reasoning, and they want to make you think about it. I hate that kind of birthed this thing where they don't write endings to stuff anymore. There's that new movie, Leave the World Behind. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah, I watched it. That was wild, but that
wild
movie.
The
ending was fucking.
Movie's incredible 3/4 of the way, and then all of a sudden they speed it up to end the movie, and then they ended on. This is a spoiler alert, and I don't give a fuck because it pissed me off so much.
Wait, hang on, because I might watch this.
You gotta go home and watch
I'm not going to spoil enough. They end the movie on you figure out what you write your own ending. No, fuck you.
Like
you wrote a good movie. I invested 2 hours in this. Write a fucking ending.
Yeah,
I hate that.
Right from the beginning, I thought that movie was going to be like, oh, here we.
It was good.
Go.
It was really good.
Wait, what movie are we talking about here?
Leave the World Behind.
Yeah,
where's it at? Netflix or
Netflix. Yeah,
it came out.
Who's in it?
Who's the
Sandra Bullock is it Sandra Bullock?
No,
it's the other one that looks kind of like her.
Oh fuck! What is her
name? What the
name?
hell's her name?
What's it about?
It's about a family that goes to an Airbnb out on Long Island, and like they want to say it's the Hamptons, but they say it's not the Hamptons, but it's a ritzy area on Long Island.
Is it a horror movie?
It's like a mystery thriller type of thing. They get there, and then there's like a some type of hack that's going on throughout the world where it shuts down all their electrical, internet, everything, and they don't know who's behind it, but they can't communicate with each other, and it turns into this entire thing of like the first step to like cutting down a society is removing their the socialization amongst the people.
It gets really, especially if you watch on any substance. It's Julia Roberts, by the way.
Julia Roberts.
I wasn't wrong in saying Sandra Bullock. They're the same person.
They're adjacent.
But it definitely like it hits on a lot of like it's very current. It's like you're like, holy shit, this could happen tomorrow kind of thing. There's some stuff in there they kind of shoehorn in that's annoying. They try to shoehorn in some like political views and just like general like societal views, which you kind of almost accept it because the movie's going so well. But they hit you with the you write your own ending, and you're just I wanted to fucking punch a hole in my cheek.
Just tell me what the fuck.
Very
happens.
rarely can someone do that where I'm happy with it, where you write your own ending shit.
Right.
Like, unless it's like a Pulp Fiction sort of thing where it's like the stakes aren't that high, or not Pulp Fiction, maybe like Reservoir Dogs better.
Right.
Like that's kind of a cool way to do it, but like.
Well, and that's the thing too is some people have done it really well, but it's one of those things where don't do that anymore. They need like a new. Unfortunately, things like movies go really fast. Write a fucking ending.
And they do that because it gets people talking. I think this happened. No, that happened.
It's an artsy way to end something, and I think it's forced. Yeah, I think you're right.
I like how in that movie and then also in the series, was it called The Last of Us? The what's the name of the guy and the girl that was like a apocalypse?
It was a game that they made into a movie, right? Last of Us.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that yet, but I hear it's good.
The lead guy from Narcos is in it.
Yeah.
So
it was good, but it starts getting like
really weird.
The way South Park kind of makes fun of shit where they're like, make it
black and gay.
Yeah, make it gay. Well, it was like little touches of that where I'm like, the one of the main characters is that young girl. I'm like, what the fuck do you need to know that she's a lesbian for at like however old she's supposed to be? She's like 11 or 12.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, why are we even like
that? And
we were all lesbians at 12.
Yeah.
And I didn't read anything about it going into it. And then Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec is in there. So I see him.
He's in it.
Has
Has he done anything?
Another
like,
gay character in the
They made him gay in the show.
right.
But they made him gay. But leading up, before you knew that he was gay, he was basically Ron Swanson. This guy's a doomsday prepper who hates the government. And I'm like, fuck, I really like this character. Not that I didn't like the gay thing. It's just like unnecessary. Like, why? He has this gay relationship with a guy, and then he basically kills himself sleeping in bed with him. And he's like making out with a dude. I was like, Ron Swanson.
Yeah, the whole story itself, I'm like, okay, like that's totally fine. Like I thought that was interesting and stuff. They just showed like this relationship that he built, but it just had nothing to do.
Is that?
It was
Are
just
you
a
guys
sidetracked
familiar with
episode.
the game at all? Does the
No.
movie follow like?
I think it does pretty closely.
Because that's what I was gonna say. Was that something that was written into the game and they just kept it true
was
to
the
script?
They were staying in a house that was like protected, and it was basically a doomsday prepper that
Okay.
ran this entire neighborhood, and it was a safe place for them to stay.
Okay.
It's like, you know how some series they'll just do an offshoot episode where it's just about someone completely else. That's not even like it's kind of one of those situations where it was like almost like a prequel to this house that they wind up visiting.
Okay.
But it's about this guy's whole life who then by the end of it, they die. So they're not in the series, but it's just a whole episode about these two dudes.
They could do an entire spin-off of those two guys, and they kind of
Okay.
did a mini version of that in the show. It really good either way.
It was
but
cool,
yeah.
but yeah, I agree. I was just kind of like, what does that have to do with anything?
Between that and the Doomsday guy in the Leave the World Behind,
Yeah.
the guy at the end, oh fuck, I want a Doomsday bunker, dude.
Oh,
So
yeah.
bad.
Dude, you have no idea how badly I want to build a cool shed in my backyard right now. Like all I do is just watch videos, and I'm trying to prep on how to build like a cool ass.
Are you gonna dig under it and the shed is just like a facade for
You lift up a
cool ass
trapdoor
bunker?
underground.
now that you're talking about bunkers, I'm like, maybe I do a little Hobbit situation, like go underground with it. Like
You are
So
a tiny guy. You wouldn't have to dig deep.
slip right in there.
You don't
Yeah.
have the shed standing there anymore, right? Like the old one that was there.
Yeah, completely took it
So
down.
definitely dig a 6-foot hole in a nice perimeter and then build on top of it. Don't tell the borough about it. Oh, you could have a field.
There's
day.
just so many possibilities, and I'm just so
And you-
excited about like building my own thing.
so much room for activities back there.
And you're gonna build the entire shed yourself.
That's what I'd like to do.
I've seen your craftsmanship. I
I'm
admire
trying.
it.
But the thing is, like, I know when I start a big project like that, I'll be like, fuck, I don't know what I'm doing. And then I'll have
Yeah.
to finish it,
Yeah.
but it'll be a lot
And
more
it's gonna
stressful.
fall over on your family.
Yeah.
That's what worries me. If I ever build anything, I'm like, it used to be like I could build or like half fix something to look good enough, but now I'm like, I gotta fix it to the point where like it's not gonna injure a kid. Damn
Yeah.
it, this sucks. Like,
I'll watch those videos and I'm like, I can conceptually understand how they're doing all these things. And then as soon as I start the project, I put in like one screw and it's not working. I'm like, I can't even fucking start.
Or
dude.
there's one little thing that is a quarter of an inch off
Yeah,
of what they
and you're like,
did.
this
and it
fucks up the whole
throws
thing.
the entire thing off. Well, what do you want in this? You want like electrical? You want it heated? Like what do you?
If anything, just electrical.
Like
no
a-
plumbing or anything like that.
you gotta at least
necessary.
have some type of urinal apparatus that runs to the outside.
That would be like I saw,
Yeah.
I've been just looking at other dudes who have built like a man cave sort of shed. They got like a urinal. on
It
the
sucks
wall.
that everyone wants to shit on a man cave or like a she shed or whatever you want to call them, but they are the coolest fucking thing
Yeah.
possible.
There's a reason why we all built forts when we were younger. Okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
leave you.
If you shit on it, you didn't have a cool room when you were little.
Yeah,
you didn't have enough
fucking
posters on the wall.
You can have a race car bed that you jerked off in. Yeah.
There's something about dude. Imagine like making that little guest house with a race car bed.
Oh,
Fucking sweet.
Fuck. I want to put a race car bed down here. Just a nice Ford Focus. Nothing crazy.
I saw this one thing where
a
this,
reasonable sedan.
Yeah, just it's
Good
safe.
gas
Yeah,
mileage.
you see the mileage on this thing? You can talk to other race car beds.
can really haul a load if you know what it's.
I saw this one dude built this shed where it's
Wait,
got
sorry.
like
I just pictured, and you know the old guy car shows where like a bunch of old dudes just pull up to like the diner in Cherry Hill and they all pop their hood. It's just a bunch of autistic guys with their car beds.
Yeah.
just all in a
yeah,
row.
got this back
Now-
in 2003.
Yeah, this one.
I see those happening all the time on the White Horse Pike.
That's
If
fucking-
I get a cheap race car bed, we're gonna fucking go to one of these car meetups and
We have
put
a-
that shit in there, and we're gonna film it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm in.
All right,
Let's do
perfect. So what were you saying about this shed that you just got?
I saw a dude. He built like the one side. It's like he has all of his wood lined up that he put on like the outside exterior of the wall, and then you grab one piece of wood and it's like a hidden door.
Oh,
Fuck
hidden
yeah.
doors.
Something about hide,
Dude, I have nothing cool to hide, but I just want a hidden door so bad.
There's something about it being hidden that just makes it's so unnecessary. But I'm like, I gotta have.
And I want to have like the button to open it is such like it's a thing that's out there. It's like anyone can see it, but it's like you never knew that if you pulled the third nail out of this jar,
but you know
that
what
it opens
that
the door.
is. It's
you know what part of memory that we're unlocking with this type of talk is from? It's coming from The Mummy with Brendan Fraser on those intricate locks inside of the pyramids.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
And
or like Harry Potter.
They
when
click really hard, and you pull it out, and you turn it this way, then you turn it that way, and the shit unlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a national treasure situation.
I was a
Ooh,
huge
national treasure. Yeah.
Brendan Fraser guy because he was the only actor I knew that was also named Brendan at the time.
Fuck, you're
He was
right.
killing it too at the time.
Yeah, he was like the biggest actor.
Wasn't it? Didn't it come out like he was getting diddled or something?
Yeah,
Really?
I think some dude like stuck their finger up.
I
his
think like
ass
a
or
producer was
Weinstein
like, "You want the Mummy
Productions?
4?"
something. Yeah, I think he like stuck a thumb up his butt at a Hollywood party, and Brendan Fraser was like, "I'm out of this."
They made a Mummy 4. It was fucking terrible.
Oh, I'm sure
It was in China.
With
It was
Dwayne the Rock
fucking-
Johnson,
No, he wasn't in it, thank God. They
What
did
was
the
he in?
Scorpion King.
Scorpion King.
But they did one in China with like those terracotta soldiers that were underground and stuff, and they like it was so bad. But
Dude, speaking of The Rock, I don't know if you fellas follow wrestling at all.
he did. He
Which
made
you
his,
probably don't.
I don't.
He announced that it sounds like he softly announced that he's going to wrestle at WrestleMania this year against his
wow.
nephew Roman Reigns. But the way they
Oh,
did
he has
it,
a nephew that's in like WWE.
yeah, but it's like nephew, like how they're all from Hawaii, I think. So they
Gotcha.
all claim that they're related, basically.
right.
But he went last night. The way they did this was wild. So they announced. I was watching it because I'm a nerd, and they popped up like a thing. It was like coming up next, former WWE champion, and they just said that. So they come back from commercial break, and they're like, "Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the former WWE champion." And there's a big pause. And then you hear the whole crowd go, "Aw," because they saw who it was going to be. Jinder Mahal, who is just a really big Indian guy that the WWE let have the title for a while. Fast forward, he comes out into the ring and basically just says, "The United States is bullshit. You guys are all against each other. Fuck you. Fuck America."
Creating the heel.
He goes, "Watch, I bet you'll boo anything." And he starts speaking in Punjabi. And they start booing. And he goes, "Fools, you were just booing your national anthem in Punjabi." He's like, "You know you're fools." And then all of a sudden, The Rock's intro hits. And The Rock comes out and basically just hits him with a, "You don't fucking talk shit on the USA. You don't do that." He's
God,
like, "We
that
might
would
be
be-
divided, but we're together that you're a fucking asshole."
There's
Oh
nothing
my
that would get me
God.
more fired up.
And
instead
I
of
was
seeing
in
that
bed
shit.
just like, USA, USA.
Can we pull that up? You
Dude,
think it's on YouTube?
Oh, it definitely is. He hit it.
Oh
He
my
hit you
God.
with a really good at the end. If you smell what The Rock is cooking,
Oh,
it brought you
dang.
right back to 1998, 1999.
I could get into that.
Prime Attitude era.
What's his intro song?
It's like, "If you smell what the Rock
is cooking.
is cooking down," and there's nothing really good after that. But they basically were just like, "All right, we're not getting ratings.
That's
What's
pretty
popular
fucking
right
sweet.
now?" No, like anti-Americanism. That's pretty big right now.
He's got Pat McAfee bringing him out.
No, this is old. This is old. You need the from last night. You might not even be on the web yet. Who knows?
21 hours.
Oh,
It's an
that's
8-minute.
probably it. Is that he looks like
Oh,
an
here's the
Indian
here's the
fella?
entrance.
Yeah, Jinder Mahal.
Hold on.
This is just a commercial.
Yeah, this is an ad for BetMGM. You can't get away from.
Nice. After this Totino's Pizza Roll ad, we'll get to see The Rock.
This time, not about the national anthem. I will tell you what the entire world is thinking about you.
He's got kind of the Rock cadence.
He does.
ਜਦੋਂ ਪੂਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਮੰਨਦੀ ਸੀ ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਤਾਕਤ ਨੂੰ ਪਰ ਉਸ ਸਮਾਂ ਲੰਘ ਗਿਆ ਇਸ ਸਮਾਂ
Tell me you didn't just get a
these
little
guys
hard.
literally just wet their pants.
Oh, dude, if you ever been
Came
to
in their pants.
have you ever been to a WWE event?
No, but they look fucking sweet.
It's first off, even if you don't like it, my buddy went with me. He's never watched wrestling, and we're leaving. He was
I
like,
mean, I
"I'll
love The
come
Rock.
to one of these
I
every
would
time
totally
you go to one."
I mean, they look. I mean, we should all go.
So you're gonna have to fast forward because he really milks this, dude. He walks
Look
to
at
like
these
he's
grown
just
adults.
super yoked
That's
out.
gonna be us.
He's got a black and white American bull flag on the front of his shirt. It's the easiest writing you've ever seen. They're like, "All right, how can we get the crowd pumped up?" They're like, "Bring out a foreigner."
Holy
It's a while. Trust me, he really milks the intro.
He hasn't even spoken yet. It's been 2.5 minutes.
Oh, wait another minute.
That's the end of the video. That's
Yeah.
all they posted.
This is why Monday Night Raw is 3.5 hours long.
Oh my god. I mean, that's the end of the video.
I love how the other guy just has to stand there and wait for him to say his lines. He's like,
Yeah. It is. I mean,
that's pretty sweet, though.
everyone shits on wrestling, but like if you like, I don't even like the actual wrestling parts.
I
It's
used to
that
when I
kind
was
of
a-
shit is the stuff I like.
I never
Yeah.
watched any
The
of
stuff
it.
like
When I was a child.
I wasn't allowed to when I was younger. I used to watch it like in secret. I'd watch ECW at night with like the
Yeah.
volume on 2.
I remember my dad would come in and go, "What is this garbage?"
But
He was
what
like
dads
so
are supposed
worried
to
that
do.
I was going to be like too into wrestling. Which, in fairness, every guy our age is.
Oh, I'm pretty sure most of my neck problems and back problems are from getting DDT'd and talking about mattresses. My parents, their old mattress, they tossed in our basement.
Yeah.
And me and my cousins were like, "Oh, we're gonna just DDT each other off the couch into this
Yeah.
for I don't know, a
DDT each
decade."
other.
Like,
Yeah, well, high
it's the
school
only
was
move we
wild
know.
for-
They were
Yeah,
looking
you
up.
catch it.
They were looking up LOL and DDT to see what these kids are fucking doing.
Yeah, honey, what's a stunner? They're doing
Yeah.
stunners.
My dad walking in. What is this garbage? Guys with tattoos? Not
Meanwhile-
for me.
Is it Pride Month already?
Yeah.
And then one of the girls comes on. He's like, "Well, I mean, boys, I'll check it out if I have to."
Bra and panty match. What the hell is this?
Guys, get out of here.
Get out of here. I'm going to need to check this out.
It was fun when did you start to hit that like moments of that where like your dad would like open up about his horniness kind of
No, I never.
in like a weird way, like a nudge and you see that one or something like that.
No, he would never ever talk about it because the Irish are repressed people.
Yeah.
But you would see it come out. If they drink, you see him corner like a chick at a family party. That I'm like, we would have to go save her and be like, I'm so sorry, he won't stop talking to you.
Yeah. Also, we're sorry you related to him. He doesn't remember.
Well, no, if like somebody brings a hot new
Oh,
girlfriend
God
at Christmas,
forbid. Dude, uncles
fucking
loved
Quick
that.
Mike would have been all over that dude. Just talking their goddamn ear off, dude.
Where
You're
you from, hon?
You're like, Jesus, dude, Dad, get out of there.
Oh, dads love that though, because I'm starting to get into that now with conversations of like,
Starting to hit on
where'd you go to high school?
Yeah.
No way. Do you remember the guy that scored 1,000 points from there in 2003?
I love it how you talk different in those
You have to.
scenarios.
Yeah, you have to. If you're talking South Jersey sports, you got to go with this voice.
Yeah,
Dude.
you gotta go. To
Gotta
these
go.
boys.
You gotta
Yeah.
get into a deep West effort kind of cadence here.
Dude, back-to-back South Jersey state champions. That's right. We said South Jersey state champions. We don't cross that fucking I-95 in the middle,
Like,
dude.
ew, you fucking graduated?
Well, they do split it up that way in the playoffs. The NJIAA, they split it up
Yeah.
where
Careful, Dan.
The
He
NIA.
always rides the lightning there, dude. I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, if you are
Play
God,
fast and
I'm
loose.
awfully close. I'm borderline speech impediment as it is.
if you're dyslexic, dude, that could have gotten you into some hot
I
water.
was gonna ask you if you know Storybook Land. I went to Diggerland. It was an entire experience.
Jesus,
They got a
yeah.
light display over there. I don't know if you went, but
Actually, we just went to that.
yeah, really?
Yeah, 'cause
You went to Diggerland?
we brought my wife's nephews.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did they like it, or was it not their kind of culture?
Well, we went in there. My nephew was like, "Digger, please."
Did the light show start 10 minutes late?
Hey-o.
Oh yeah.
Hope that somebody gets some opportunities from this and gets canceled from this episode.
Oh Jesus. John's gonna
Anyways.
get. Yeah. What do you have coming up that you could get canceled from? John?
I don't know. You can check out That Rules, or you can find me 22nd this month doing Playtime Comedy. What else?
Oh,
I had
who
something
runs
else
that?
coming up. Classic Philadelphia comedian.
Oh, okay.
I got a surprise party for somebody that I'm going to try to get out of. There's some other shows in there, but oh yeah,
Nice.
King's Highway Comedy up in North Philly. Which
Oh, that's a fun show.
Up in Ben Salem.
why is it called King's Highway Comedy? Is there?
I think he used to run on Kings Highway. And just
Okay.
kept, it's sort of a cricket situation.
I see. Yeah,
Comedy
King's
on the
Highway
Crick.
Comedy on the 21st, I think, something
Hell
like that.
yeah.
18th. Yeah.
Ooh, old Thursday night action, huh?
Well, Thursday.
yeah.
I got a few other things coming up that I did not put in my calendar. So Montague Comedy
yeah.
on Instagram. Yeah.
All right. I got South Jersey Bad Boys. Guys, subscribe on YouTube. This Friday, I'll be a little double header action. New York Comedy Club Stamford, 7 p.m. And then Gramercy in New York at 11:30, doing a late night show there. I think, I'm not sure, but it might be like my first legit spot there. So I'm pretty pumped.
Hell yeah.
shit.
Versus a check spot or
On a
guest
Friday
spot.
night too.
Yeah, so that should be fun. And then I'm doing
Nice.
a gig with the old Ryan Foster Saturday. I don't know the details, so I'll keep you posted on Instagram, Brendan Donegan
You
Comedy.
going to another prison somewhere? Isn't that where he was just performing?
Yeah, I feel like it might
I
be
want to
one
get
of
into
those
that
situations.
circuit so bad.
Yeah,
I just want to
prison
do the
circuit.
federal, like the white collar shit. My
Yeah.
dad was in federal white
Yeah,
collar
just
prison
so
in
you
South Jersey. I know the
I was
syndicate.
going to say, you're just going to be asking if anybody knew your dad.
Yeah, that's just my opener.
Yeah.
Nice. And then for old Danny Local Reference, we got Ladder 15 on the 8th. Brendan, we're doing the live Dave Permiana Marmajan with Dan Diapril on the weekday comedian comic podcast on the 16th. And then what else is, I don't know, there's a bunch of shit after that, but oh yeah, and then Brendan and I also later that week are Ready Set Joke at the Royal in Glenside with old Mark
Also,
Slickadonna.
Getting together Thursday should be fun. We're doing a hang at the Old Rail Tavern with
What better
Richie
place?
Byrne and Mark Riccadonna and the Saint, baby.
And yeah, doing it at the Old Rail. What better place at 5 o'clock on a Thursday? It's gonna be a
Nice.
hot
Yeah,
time.
just gonna get hammered.
Yeah.
It's
Just
gonna
a
be awesome.
bunch of booze bags. I love it.
Brendan and I are booked for a birthday party in November too. By the way,
Next November. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I did a
Good chance I'm gonna cancel that.
a little nooner for.
Good thing you have 10 months to decide.
right.
Yeah, she's like, I'm trying to get a venue, but I want to do some comedy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let's do it. She was at a show a month ago, and she's like, actually emailed me like
it's
through
gonna
my
be
site.
horrible.
No
Yeah.
way.
Shouldn't have said yes to that.
She's like, I got 75 people. We're gonna do it at a brewery, and I want to have some 30 or 40 minutes of comedy. I'm like, all right.
Well, if you need somebody to disappoint somebody for 10 of that, I'm available next November.
You're coming with me in February to the rehab show.
Yes, I'm excited for that
So-
one. I can't wait to get in front of a bunch
I
of
gotta do
junkies.
like my first 45-ish minutes.
Nice.
So it's gonna be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be a good old time.
We'll see.
When is that? February, right?
February
All right,
something.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Valentine's Day action.
Oh, no better time to watch people pick their pockmarks on
Yeah.
You guys better smoke American spirits before and after.
Yeah, are you allowed to do drugs during your set?
Show up on them. If you need any shroomies,
Yeah.
let
Yeah.
me know. But yeah, I think that's all we got here. Old SJBB. We'll see you next
we'll
time.
see you next time.
That rules.
Don't you dare.
Don't you fucking dare.